What is up, you guys? I wanted to come to you guys tonight with my NXT review. So let's jump right into this review tonight for NXT. To start off the show, for NXT, we had Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus Santos Escobar and Mendoza. This was a 2-on-2 tag team match to start off the night for NXT tonight with Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus Mendoza and Santos Escobar. This was a pretty decent 2-on-2 decent men's tag team match to start off the night for NXT tonight. It wasn't this tag team match wasn't really anything all that great. It was just your basic get me over 2-on-2 men's tag team match tonight to start off the show for NXT. I thought this match was fairly decent. It was really nothing all that special. It wasn't nothing to write home about, but it was a fairly decent 2-on-2 tag team match to start off the night tonight on NXT with Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus Mendoza and Santos Escobar. This was a pretty much just a get me over tag team match to start off the night tonight for NXT. I thought this tag team match was fairly decent. It wasn't that great of a tag team match. It was just a get me over tag team match to start off the night tonight for NXT with Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus Santos Escobar and Mendoza. This was a very fairly decent, okay 2-on-2 tag team match to start off the night tonight on NXT. This tag team match was all right. I really didn't care for it all that much. It was all right to me. It was just a decent 2-on-2 men's tag team match to start off the night tonight for NXT with Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus Mendoza and Santos Escobar tonight to start off NXT. This was a fairly decent 2-on-2 men's tag team match to start off the night tonight for NXT. And the team of Damian Priest and Leon Ruff ended up picking up the win over Santos Escobar and Mendoza. And then we had Cameron Grimes versus August Gray. Cameron Grimes destroys Gray in just a couple seconds. This match wasn't very long at all. Cameron Grimes hits the cave-in on Gray for the win. Cameron Grimes ends up going over on Gray and picking up the win tonight on NXT. Gray is just I don't really get these jobber matches. I really don't. August Gray is just a jobber. Cameron Grimes destroys Gray in less than a second. Cameron Grimes hits the cave-in on Gray for the win. And then we had the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Imperium. This was another 2-on-2 men's tag team match tonight on NXT. I thought this match was fairly decent. I really didn't read anything going into this match with Imperium versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was an alright, just get me over tag team match, like I said. This was another just get me over 2-on-2 men's tag team match tonight on NXT. This was just pretty much your basic 2-on-2 men's get me over tag team match tonight for NXT. I'm not really a fan of Imperium. I'm not a fan of the Grizzled Young Veterans. I'm not a fan of these two tag teams. This was a decent tag team match. It was alright to be just a get me over 2-on-2 tag team match tonight on NXT. I thought this match was fairly decent. It wasn't really all that special. It was nothing to write home about. It was just your get me over tag team match tonight on NXT. with Imperium versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was just a basic tag team match, really nothing much to it. I mean, it was an alright tag team match if you want to call it that. I didn't really care for it all that much. It really didn't do anything for me. I didn't really care for it all that much, but it was a decent 2-on-2 get me over men's tag team match tonight on NXT with Imperium versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was a just a but just this was just your basic get me over men's 2-on-2 tag team match to start off the night for NXT. And this match between Imperium and the Grizzled Young Veterans ends in a no contest. And then we had Jake Atlas versus Tony Nese. This was a one-on-one men's match between Tony Nese and Jake Atlas tonight on NXT. This was an alright to decent one-on-one men's match tonight on NXT between Jake Atlas and Tony Nese. I thought it was kind of decent. I thought it was alright for what it was. I'm not a fan of Tony Nese, and I'm not a fan of Jake Atlas. I'm just not a fan of these two guys. I didn't care who won this match. I had no interest in this match with Tony Nese versus Jake Atlas. I didn't really have an interest in this match because I'm not interested in these two guys. But this was a fairly decent, okay, one-on-one men's match tonight on NXT between Tony Nese and Jake Atlas. This was an alright men's one-on-one men's match tonight for NXT. This match didn't do much for me at all. I didn't really care for it all that much. I thought it was just an easy, okay, one-on-one men's match tonight on NXT between Jake Atlas and Tony Nese. I thought this men's match was okay. It was decent for what it was. It was really all that nothing to write home about. It was just your basic one-on-one men's match tonight on NXT between Tony Nese and Jake Atlas. And Jake Atlas ends up picking up the win over Tony Nese. Now let's go into the main event. Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez for the women's Wargames Advantage match for Wargames this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. Let's talk about this match. This was a pretty decent women's Wargames ladder match, women's Advantage ladder match between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez in the main event tonight for NXT to see who would have the women's advantage going into Wargames on Sunday night. This was a pretty decent Wargames ladder match, advantage match between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez. This was a pretty decent match. It wasn't that great. It was an alright. NXT is building toward NXT Wargames on Sunday night, so that's what they're doing. But this was an alright advantage NXT women's ladder match for the women's advantage for Wargames on Sunday night on the WWE Network. This was an alright ladder match between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez just to see who would have the women's advantage going into Wargames on Sunday night on the WWE Network. I thought this match was alright. I mean, it was nothing really all that great. It kept my attention. It was alright for what it was. I mean, this was just to see who would have the women's advantage going into Wargames on Sunday night on the WWE Network between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez. This was the main event tonight for NXT in this ladder match to see who would have the advantage for NXT TakeOver Wargames for the women. I thought this match was fairly decent. I thought it was a pretty decent ladder match to see who would take the advantage going into Wargames this Sunday night on the WWE Network between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez. This was an alright women's War Games Advantage ladder match in the main event tonight on NXT. This match was fairly decent. It was alright. It wasn't really all that great. It was just fairly decent. And Shotzi Blackheart ends up picking up the win for her team. So Team Shotzi will have the women's War Games advantage going into Sunday night at NXT TakeOver War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. Shotzi Blackheart ends up getting the win over Raquel Gonzalez, and Team Shotzi will have the women's War Games advantage match going into War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. I'm going to give NXT a 0 out of 10. NXT wasn't that entertaining. They're building toward War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. They're building toward War Games. I'm really pumped for War Games. I'm a huge fan of War Games. I've been reviewing War Games for a couple years now here on the channel. So I'm really pumped and stoked for NXT TakeOver War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. But yeah, NXT is building toward War Games coming this Sunday night on the WWE Network. But other than that, NXT gets a 0 out of 10 for me. This show didn't really have no enthusiasm to it. They're building toward War Games, and we now know that Team Shotzi will have the women's advantage going into War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. And we know the team of Pat McAfee will have the men's War Games advantage going into War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. So other than that, NXT gets a 0 out of 10 from me. This show was not entertaining at all. They're building toward War Games, which will be happening this Sunday on the WWE Network. So other than that, guys, this has been your NXT review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This show wasn't really entertaining to me. I didn't really enjoy the show all that much. This was the NXT Go Home show for War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. So thank you guys for watching this NXT review. If you guys enjoyed this NXT review, hit that thumbs up. It helps my YouTube channel in the YouTube algorithm. You guys make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. So yeah, guys, this has been your NXT Go Home show review for NXT TakeOver War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. Overall, NXT gets a 0 out of 10 for me. This show was not entertaining whatsoever. This show did nothing for me. I'm really pumped for War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. I am really stoked for War Games. I hope you guys are as well. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this NXT Go Home show review for War Games this coming Sunday night on the WWE Network. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys on Friday for the SmackDown Live review. And until then, I love you guys. You guys stay safe. And I'll see you guys later.